Ghana Cocobod, the official agency responsible for cocoa with a mission to encourage and facilitate the production, processing and marketing of good quality cocoa, coffee and shea nut in all forms, successfully signed on Wednesday 3rd September 2008 a $1 billion pre-export trade finance facility for the 2008-09 cocoa season at a ceremony in Accra, Ghana. The facility, in its 16th year, has seen the amount raised grow year on year. This is a sure sign of Cocobod's sound policies and creditworthiness, added with the current strong financial position of Ghana in the midst of worldwide financial crisis. The transaction is known to be the largest structured soft commodity syndicate deal in Africa, with pools of both local and international financial institutions contributing various sums to raise the amount. This year, the arrangement was again oversubscribed by 33%. with an increase in the number of mandated lead arrangers from 4 in 2007-08 to 7. The 2008 mandated lead arrangers were Natizis, Standard Chartered Bank, Ghana International Bank, Societe Generale Corporate and Investment Bank, Bank of Tokyo Mitsubishi UFJ, Dresdner Kleinwort, and Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation. The local banks that took part in the deal were Ghana Commercial Bank, Stanbic Bank Ghana, EcoBank Ghana Limited, and Zenith Bank Ghana Limited. The money raised will be used to purchase a target of over 650,000 tons of cocoa beans for the 2008-09 season and will be fully secured at all times by the assignment of firm and fixed price contracts from acceptable buyers from Organization for African Cooperations and Development. The amount is repayable in 11 months. Before the signing ceremony, Cocobod organized for the delegation from the international banks to visit the Cocoa Research Institute of Ghana, TAFO, to find out the important role research has played in assisting Ghana to maintain quality and high-yielding cocoa beans over the years. En route to Creek, the delegation made a whistle stop at the late Tetekwashi's cocoa farm in Mampong, Ikuapem, where they were briefed on the history of cocoa in Ghana and showed the original cocoa tree planted by Tetekwashi in 1879. The delegation was led by two of the Deputy Chief Executives for Cocobod, Mr. William Mensah, Head of Finance and Administration, and Mr. Tony Fofi, Head of Agronomy and Quality Control. Also with the delegation was the Managing Director of Cocoa Marketing Company Ghana Limited, Alhaji Dramani Igala, and other senior managers from Cocobod. From there, the delegation visited the Jubilee Farms project, a cocoa farm established by the Ghana Cocobod in Mampong, Ikuapem. At the Jubilee Farm, the senior managers from Cocobod joined the delegation to plant cocoa trees to mark their visit. On arrival at Creek, the delegation was met by the Executive Director Dr. Edu Ampoma and his Deputy Director Dr. Franklin Menu Amwa. Dr. Ampoma gave a brief background on the activities of Creek. After his introduction, Dr. Ampoma invited the delegation to visit an exhibition put together by Creek, who are celebrating their 70th anniversary in 2008, to highlight some of the areas of their research work.
The perception that this is a purely financial transaction that gets dealt in the credit boardroom of a bank to something you can touch and feel. You can see the product, you can see the research that goes into it. For me, I come from a farming background, so I understand the effect of entomology research, seed research, propagation techniques, soil analysis, etc. And that allows, I think it gives more credibility to the agricultural practices in Ghana, that money and application and intellectual skills are being applied to the farming processes.
Doing a site visit and being parted to seeing the cocoa trees and coming to the institute to understand how they do all kind of making sure that the crop comes out with quality by looking at various diseases. Yeah, it was quite an eye-opener, and it gives any lender confidence when he lends into such a transactions to understand that there is a process and a mechanism in place to produce good quality cocoa for the world market.
Back in Accra from the visit to TAFO, Cocobod treated the delegation to a dinner at the Labadi Beach Hotel. During the dinner, a special presentation ceremony was organized to honor all the banks involved in the 2008 trade finance facility. On Wednesday, 3rd September 2008, the entrance to Labadi Beach Hotel was brought to life by a cultural display put together by Cocobod to welcome their guests, friends and the press to the signing of a landmark trade finance facility.
We set 600,000. We reached 614,000. The current year we set 650. We are already 670. So it appears that we are predicting fairly well. Next year we are looking to maybe something in excess of 700,000.
Now, in a time like this where the international financial crisis all over, everybody's complaining about, is this a wise time to raise $1 billion to finance cocoa production?
I think the fact that we've done it clearly shows the faith the International Finance Community has in Cocobod and in this particular deal. It also speaks volumes of the country risks associated with lending to an entity within a country, the political and economic stability, the macro framework which the government has put in place. Obviously, the international financial community would have considered all these, and I think that is why we are here today to sign this agreement, a landmark in the sense that this is the first time we are getting to $1 billion, not because it's the first that we are doing. So it's good. The banks have faith in the deal and in Cocobod, as well as in our country Ghana.
Do you think the Cocobod is ready, infrastructure-wise, to handle this 1 million ton?
Well, I think in the course of the year we'll also be, we will start at the building of a 100,000 ton facility in Accra. We are also investing in yield-enhancing schemes, the application of fertilizers over a 3-year period. And then we are also putting in some investment through the medium-term facility we accessed into quality assurance systems, to ensure that Ghana becomes the first country to have the capacity to issue certificates of analysis for every consignment of cocoa that we send anywhere.
Present to grace the occasion was the Minister for Finance and Economic Planning, Honorable Ban Redu, and Dasibre Ekuama-Boateng II, Kweuman Hene, and Chairman of the Board of Directors of Cocobod. Some cocoa farmers, including the President of the Ghana Cocoa, Coffee and Share Farmers Association, Nana Yadom Boachi Kokuruko II, Chief of Ahwiem in Sefioso. Before the main ceremony, there was a pre-signing ceremony which involved Cocobod, Denton Wild Sapt, the legal firm overseeing the facility, and the lead arrangers. At the ceremony, the delegation and guests were welcomed by the Master of Ceremony, Mr. Edward Ampofo, Chief Pharmacist, Cocoa Clinic. After his welcome speech, he invited Mr. Denton Wild from Denton Wild Sapt, the legal representative overseeing the arrangement, to outline the signing procedure.